Welcome for a 3-minute express class. Today we're going to be focusing a bit more on glutes with a little extra ab work in. We're going to start lying down on our back. Make sure that you have your knees bent, feet flat on the mat. You've got a nice little space between your low back and the mat, so we're in a neutral spine. Toes are pointing straight forward and they're just about sits bones distance apart, so you can fit your fist between them. Arms are nice and long. Just have a bit of breathing. Inhale. And exhale. Another deep breath. And then as you exhale, feel those front ribs that are closer in together. Keep them knitted and breathe into the sides and back of your ribs. And exhale, grabbing that waist in for these last 3 breaths. Breathing in more towards the back of your ribs with each inhale. Every exhale draws those front ribs closer in towards each other for 2. And after this last breath, we're going to start going into our bridges. So keep your arms nice and long. You're going to exhale, tuck that pelvis, pressing your low back down onto the mat and hold it here. I want you to keep your butt relaxed here. You're using those low abs to pull your pubic bone in towards your face. And then inhale and rock back into neutral. Good. Exhale, tucking that pelvis, using those low abs to initiate this movement. And inhale, come back into neutral. On this next one, we're going to start moving into your bridge. So as you exhale, pelvis tucks. And then engage your glutes. Start to lift your hips off, going up 1 vertebrae at a time. Inhaling at the top, really squeezing your glutes, reaching your knees nice and long over your toes. And then exhale as you melt your spine all the way back down. Beautiful. Going here for 8 more. Tucking that pelvis, squeezing your glutes, and slowly lifting up, making sure here that you only go as high as you can while maintaining your pelvis tucked. That's going to keep the work in your glutes. Make sure we're not going into your low back. And exhale, melt back down. Really try to lift 1 vertebrae at a time so that you're moving through your spine like a wave. Inhale at the top, and then reverse that movement, melting 1 vertebrae down at a time. Tailbone is the last thing to touch the mat, and then you move back into neutral for these last 5. And 4. Final 3. Two. And on this last one, you're going to hold that bridge up at the top. Excellent. Really feel your knees reaching long over your toes. Keep that pelvis tucked. If that means your bridge has to come down a tiny bit, that's perfectly fine. We're going to hinge at your hips. Stick your butt out so it's hovering about 2 inches off the mat. And then re-tuck your pelvis to lift your hips back up. So imagine that you're about to sit down in a chair. You're halfway down when you change your mind. And then stand right back up. Same movement here. Sticking your butt out. Moving into that neutral spine, and then tucking that pelvis to lift back up. 4, 6. 5. 4. Beautiful here. just got 2 more. Excellent. And after this last one, hold that bridge at the top. Make sure here that you've got both hips squared off. You're going to think about reaching that right knee nice and long, pressing that left heel deeper into the mat, and lifting that right leg up at the tabletop. And then bringing it back down, switching sides. So here we're going to these single leg marches. You want to make sure that as your leg marches up, that hip doesn't sink down towards the mat. So think about your knee reaching up and slightly forward, helping you keep your hip lifted. And then take your time as you switch sides. Again, you've got your hips squared off. You keep your glute engaged, supporting your back here. You've got just 5 more to each side. Beautiful here. 3. And next when your right leg is up in tabletop, hold it there. Tiny pulse with that left glute, thrusting your hips an inch up towards the ceiling. 4, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold it here. You're going to bring that right leg down, keep that pelvis tucked. Lift your left leg up to tabletop and pulses here. 4, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Slowly lower that leg back down. Melt your spine all the way down. Taking a breath here in neutral. And as you exhale, tuck that pelvis and come right back up. Holding that bridge at the top. You're going to reach your right leg long. Lifting it up and lowering it down. Lift and lower. Again, feel like someone's pulling that right leg long away from you, helping you maintain length in the right side of your waist, helping you keep that right hip lifted. For 4. 2. On this last one, you're going to hold that leg up. Hinge at your hips, stick your butt out 2 inches. Retuck that pelvis and hold. Lower that leg, lift your leg, hinge your hips, tuck that pelvis, and then go for the leg lift. We're going to do 6 more here like this. Hinge, lift, lower your leg, lift. Nice and small. Last 4. Don't let that right hip sink down. 4, 2. Last 1. And you're going to bring that right leg down. Make sure your hips are square before you switch sides. Reaching that left leg long. Starting with that lift and lower. Again, feel like someone's pulling that leg away from you, helping you keep that left hip lifted, left waist long. 4, 5, 4, 3, 2. After that last one, hold that leg long, hinge at your hips, lift, and then lower that leg. 4, 6. 4, 4. Last 2. And last 1. Beautiful. You can lower that left leg down. Roll all the way down. Nice deep breath here at the bottom. And then carefully come all the way up to sitting. We're going to go on to our kneeling side plank here. So I want you to have your knees stacked. Make sure that they're in line with your hips and your spine, so your shins are slightly behind you. You have your left forearm underneath you with that left elbow in line with your shoulder. Not too far forward, not too far under. Nice deep breath. And then as you exhale, press into that forearm, into your knees. You're lifting off here. Keep lifting your chest away so you feel your serratus engaging. That's going to help support you by engaging your core and obliques. Reach that right hand straight up towards the ceiling. It's going to help you find a little extra lift. We're going to go for some hip dips here. So let your hips dip down and then come up. Dip and lift. Going here for 8. 4, 6. 4, 2. Hold on this last one. We're going to go for that thread and needle. So you're going to wrap that right hand underneath your left waist, twisting your chest, and then coming back up. 4, 6. Trying to keep your hips squared and stacked. Last 3. And after that last one, you're going to hold that right hand up, keep that lift. You're going to reach your right leg long, and you're going to lift it up an inch and down. Up an inch and down. 4, 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. Hold along on this last one. Keep it in line with your hip. Feel like someone's pulling that right heel away from you, and draw little tiny circles leading with your heel. So imagine you're trying to trace the edge of a golf ball here. Going for 5 more in this direction, and then we switch the direction of that circle. In 3. In 2. Last one. Switch. Beautiful. 4, 5. And 3. 2. And after that last one, hold that leg long. You're going to bend that knee to tabletop and then reach it back out long. We're going to do 6 more here. Trying to keep that leg level with your hip the entire time. So it's like it's sweeping over a tabletop. 4, 3. 2. 1. Carefully bring that leg back down, and then you can come down. We're going to come onto all 4s before we switch sides onto that other kneeling side plank. You're going to keep your knees underneath your hips, hands underneath your shoulders. Feel like someone's pulling the crown of your head and your tailbone away from each other, so you're finding length in your spine. Nice deep inhale here. You're going to reach your right hand long as your left leg reaches back and bring it down. Switching sides. So here again, you want to make sure you're minimizing the shift happening in your body as you switch from side to side. And then feel like your fingertips and toes are pulling in opposite directions, so they're helping you maintain that length in your body. You want to also think about pressing into your hand and lifting your chest away. So we're not letting that shoulder and chest sink here, but we're keeping your core engaged for support. We're going to do 5 more to each side. Thinking about length here rather than height. So don't worry about bringing your legs super high up. Again, feel like it's trying to reach away from your hands down to the wall away from you. Last 2. And on this next one, you're going to hold that right arm long, left leg long. Beautiful. And from here, you're going to tap your knee to elbow. And then reach long. Knee and elbow tap. And reach long. Excellent. 4, 4. 3, 2. On this last one, hold that arm and leg long. Tiny pulses up an inch. Squeezing at your shoulder and that thigh muscle for 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold it long. You're going to open that arm and leg an inch out to the side and back in. Inch out and back in. 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to switch sides. Do everything with your left arm and right leg. So again, feel your fingertips and toes reaching long away from each other first, pressing into that right hand, lifting your chest away, and you're going to bend your knee to elbow. And then reach your arm and leg long. Knee to elbow, and then reach away. 4, 4, 3, 2. Hold on this last one for those pulses up an inch. Again, you're squeezing at your shoulder, you're squeezing at that thigh. 4, 4, and 3. Last 2. Holding on this last one, reaching that arm and leg long, sweep them an inch out to the side and back in. Inch out and in. Beautiful here. 4 or 5. Making sure you're not shifting your core from side to side here. Keep pressing into your right hand. Last 2. 1. Bring that arm and leg down. Nice deep breath. You're going to make sure you have your hands under your shoulders. Tuck your toes on the mat. And as you exhale, you're going to hug your knees. And then gently bring them back down. Exhale, draw those low abs in. Knees hover. And bring them down. We're going to do 5 more like this. And 4. 3. 2. Hold that hover on this last one. You're going to reach that right leg long. And then bring it back. Left leg long. And bring it back. If your wrists are bothering you, you can always have your fists down on the mat instead. That's going to help you keep a nice long line in your wrist. Keep pressing into your hands and lifting your chest away. We're going to do 4 more to each side. 3, 2, 1. Bring your knees down. You're going to bring your forearms down onto the mat. Reach your right leg long, left leg long. You're out in your plank here. Make sure you've got that pelvis lightly tucked. You've got a long line of your spine. You're going to open that right leg out to the side and bring it back in. Left toes out to the side and back in. If that feels good, open that right leg out, then your left. Bring your right foot in, and then your left. Going here, 4, 5. And 4. 3, 2, 1. And carefully bring your knees down. Beautiful. We're going to go for that kneeling side plank on your right side this time. So again, make sure you have your knees stacked. They're in line with your hips and spine. Right forearm underneath you with your elbow just in line with your shoulder. Nice deep inhale. And then exhale, pressing into that forearm, lifting your hips off. You can reach that left hand up toward the ceiling. Lifting it just a tiny bit more here. Inhale, and we're going to start with those hip dips. So you let your hips dip down and up, down and up. Beautiful here. 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it, thread a needle. Wrapping that left hand underneath your right waist and coming back up. Trying to keep those hips stacked for these last 6. And 4. Two. Hold on the last one. You're gonna reach that left leg long, lifting it up an inch and down. Up an inch and down. Again, that left heel is reaching long away from you. You're only lifting a tiny bit, making sure that you're not sinking in your right waist. You're not crunching in your left. For 3. And 2. On this last one, you're gonna hold that leg long. Beautiful. And go for little tiny circles here. Excellent. For 4 in this direction, and then we switch the direction of that circle. And 2, and 1, and switch. 4, 5, 3, 1. Hold it, bending that left knee in, and then reaching it long. Your knee only bends to about your hip point, and then reaches back out long for these last 5. Keep it level with your hip the entire time, so it's like it's gliding over a tabletop. 4, 3, 2, 1. Carefully bring that leg back down and all the way down. Nice deep breath. And from here we're going to come up to standing. So once you're up, we're going to go for some squats to begin. You want to have your feet about hip width apart, toes pointing straight forward. You're going to exhale, send your butt down and back in space so the weight goes into your heels, and then press into those heels to stand. Send your butt down and back, and then press back up. Four, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold it on this last one. Tiny pulses up an inch and down, up an inch and down. For 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it here, and then come all the way back up. You're going to come all the way back down into that squat, and we're going to hold it as low as feels good for you. Make sure here that you're not flexing forward in your chest. You're keeping a nice long line up your spine, keeping that pelvis slightly tucked. Sink as low as feels good for you. We're going to go for heel lifts. So you're going to lift your heels and lower. Heels lift and lower. Beautiful. Excellent. So here you're trying to make sure that your chest and pelvis aren't moving. It is only your heels creating that lift, getting your thigh bone to kind of move inside of your hip socket. Last 3. Hold it up in 2. Keep your heels lifted on this last one, and tiny pulses. Excellent here. 4, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring those heels down and then stand up. We're going to move into our sumo squats. So I want you to have your legs feet a little wider than your hips. Your heels are pointing in. Toes are pointing to the top corners of the mat. Once you have your feet in that position, you're going to bend your knees, coming down into that squat, and then pressing into your heels, squeezing your butt when you reach the top. Down. Beautiful here. For 8. 6. 4. And 2, you're going to hold that squat low as far as feels good for you. Holding it here on this next one. Tiny pulses up an inch and down, up an inch and down. Going for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold on this last one. Beautiful. You're going to lift your heels and lower. Heels lift and lower for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, hold it up in 2, hold on this last one for pulses, down an inch and up, down an inch and up, nice and steady here, going only as far as feels good for you. We've got 8, and 6, 4, 2, hold it here, holding it for 10 seconds. Keep those heels lifted, sink a little deeper, that feels good. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring those heels down, carefully stand up. You're gonna bring your feet back into parallel. We're going to go for some side squats here. So you're going to step your right foot out, coming down into a squat, coming back up to center, and then switching to the left. So here you're still trying to send your butt down and back in space. We're going to do 5 more to each side. And 4. Last 2. Hold on this next one to the right. You're going to turn to the right so you're in your lunge position. Make sure you've got your right knee just over your heel and ankle. Left heel is lifted, pointing back. Square your hips off here so your right hip shifts a tiny inch back, left hip slightly forward. Keep your spine long. You're going to hinge at your chest and your hips to send your chest forward. And then come back up. Hinging at your hips, chest leans forward an inch, and back up. For 8. Small movement here again, keeping your spine nice and long. Don't flex forward, don't overextend. For 6. 4. 2. After that last one, you're going to turn back to center, carefully come up, go to the other side. You're out in that left side squat. Beautiful. You turn over into your lunge position. Again, making sure your knee and heel are aligned. Your hips are squared off. Hinging at your hips, your chest leans forward and comes back up. Leans forward and comes back up. Beautiful. For 6. 5. 4. 2. And after that last one, carefully Coming back to center, all the way up. Beautiful. From here, we're going to go for the last bit. We're going to come down to all fours, and we're going to go for our last plank. So here, make sure you have your hands underneath your shoulders. You got your legs nice and long. Nice deep breath. You're going to pike your butt up. Gaze turns towards your knees. And then come back out into your plank. Pike. And plank. We're going to do 3 more here. Then we're going to start adding, kind of creating this little toe tap. Reaching your right hand to your left toes. And then left hand to your right toes. Beautiful. On this next one, your butt pikes up. Reach your right hand to your left toes. Press back out into your plank. Up, left hand to right toes, and back out into your plank. We're doing 6 more to each side. Last 4 to each side. To each side. After that last one, hold it. We're going to hold this plank here and go for some mountain climbers with a hip extension. So reach your right knee in and then reach that leg long. Bring it down and switch sides. Left knee in and out. Then down. For 6 more to each side. And 4. Final 1 to each side. And then carefully bring your knees down. And child's pose. Nice deep breath. Excellent. Carefully come up. We're going to go for a quick little butterfly stretch here. So I want you to have the soles of your feet together, legs in a diamond shape. You're going to exhale, press your knees a little farther down to the mats, finding a nice stretch in the inside of your thighs. Inhale here, and then exhale to press them down a little further. Really nice. Good. You're going to lie down on your back. Cross your right ankle over that left knee. Hands behind your left thigh. Make sure your right foot is flexed to protect your knee. And as you exhale, bring that left thigh in towards your chest. Feel free to press your right knee away from you with your elbow, helping you find a nice stretch in the outside of your right hip and that butt. Inhale and exhale to draw that thigh a little further in. Beautiful. Carefully coming back, switching sides. Left foot is flexed, ankle over that right knee, hands behind your right thigh. Exhale as you bring your thigh bone in. You can press that left knee away from you. Draw it in a little further in. And then coming right back. Beautiful. You can reach your legs long, bringing that right knee in towards your chest. And switch. And after that last breath, you carefully come all the way back up. And we are done. Thank you for joining me for this 30-minute class, focusing on your glutes and a little bit of abs. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and have a nice day.